nobody here, just you and me. That's how it's gonna be, 'cause I hardly know. Now, I don't know about you, but walking around London in the summertime, getting dosed up on antihistamines to combat the old hay fever, what aggravates me right now, the double-decker buses swinging on by, and I'm seeing the posters for Lightyear, voiced by Chris Evans. I can hardly wait. And the poster has him looking heroic with a cat next to him. No, I'm sorry, cats are cool, but I do prefer dogs. I wanted to see a badass dog next to Buzz Lightyear. But that's not even the major issue I've got with this film. I'm not going to watch it, by the way. Why would I? I think Lightyear is going to be lightweight at the box office. So Disney Pixar's Lightyear will not play in Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and other parts of the Middle East, nor Malaysia and Indonesia, which came as a bit of a surprise to me to see those two countries included. So if you want to know why, it begins its offshore rollout this week, but won't be hitting cinemas in the places I've just mentioned to you, but also including Bahrain, Egypt, Kuwait, Oman, and Qatar. Nor will it go to theatres in the other places I just mentioned. Deadline understands the film has not received distribution certificates in these markets. As with other recent Hollywood films, the issue is believed to be related to LGBT content. What a surprise. The Toy Story prequel reinstated a same-sex kiss in March following an internal backlash, no, it was called bending the knee, to Disney's handling of Florida's Don't Say Gay legislation, which of course it doesn't actually say that. That's what the mainstream media is doing, because the mainstream media are a bunch of a-holes. The embrace is between Alicia, a character voiced by Uzo Aduba, and another woman. The character's relationship itself was never called into question during the making of the film. A source familiar with the production told Deadline in March, but a kiss between them was originally exorcised. Pixar was one of the loudest voices criticizing Disney CEO Bob Chapek's handling of the Florida bill. Well, to be honest, Chapek was pressurized into saying something about that bill because Chapek did the right thing by keeping Sturm, until of course Disney execs and everybody else were just getting a bit hot under the collar, frothing at the mouth. Given the history of the Gulf region, Disney may not have even submitted Lightyear to the Saudi censors. In the UAE, however, the film was reportedly previously dated for the June the 16th. The Emirates Media Regulatory Office of the Ministry of Youth and Culture tweeted today that Lightyear is not licensed for public screening in all cinemas of the UAE due to its violation of the country's media content standards. And that is something to be aware of, folks. You know, when you go on holiday to these places, be aware of what may... Well, how can I politely say it? You don't want to go on a holiday somewhere like that, then you end up in jail, or you make the news headlines for all the wrong reasons. Read carefully before you decide to step foot in those places. I'm pretty sure they're nice places to visit, but honestly, you gotta kind of dip your toe very, very carefully. Now, speaking of dipping the toe very carefully, you want to see the next cringe headline here? This is a bit of a double whammy video today, folks. Amber Turd sets primetime sit-down with NBC's Savannah Guthrie on Depp trial. Special will air this week, meaning it's been recorded already. So, oh my God. I mean, look at that. The amount of makeup this chick wore in the Johnny Depp trial, and it's kind of like, they kind of got all the shoveling out now, so what you're left here is with the husk. And then you got Miss Guthrie like grinning from cheek to cheek. Wow. I was about to go into a rendition of Christy Berg's Lady in Red is dancing with me cheek to cheek. Nobody here, Just you and me, that's how it's gonna be. 'Cause I hardly know this woman by my side. Christopher, I love you, man. Well, I loved you when you were a rocker back in your day, man. But wowee. So 2 weeks after a Virginia jury handed Johnny Depp, a well-deserved one by the way, a victory in his multi-million defamation trial against Amber Heard, the Aquaman actress is set to publicly speak at length for the very first time since the verdict. This reminds me of Alec Baldwin on the set of Rust, when he accidentally shot that poor production person on there, the cinematographer I think it was. And and since then he's kind of gotten away literally with murder. He did a similar thing on NBC with George Stephanopoulos, and it was just fake crocodile tears. It was a carefully produced production, lots of lighting here, lots of lighting there, because if you're an actor, you know how you want to be lit, right? And I'm guaranteeing you this is going to be the case with Amber Heard. They're going to be showing her from very subjective camera angles to make her look very sympathetic. She gives her side of the story. Of course, she has to have I presume Savannah Guthrie is an anchor woman, so you know you need to have female representation, don't you? You can't have a male interviewing you because he'll be perceived as being toxic and not in favour of your demise, as it were. Heard will appear in a 1 hour NBC primetime special this week. Yep, so I think it's Friday. In a sit-down, I've learned, when I say I've learned, not me who's learned, the person who wrote this article, the much sought-after interview, because Amber Heard needs the money, was filmed on June the 9th, I told you, in NYC under tight security and secrecy. The actress flew in from the Old Dominion specifically for the filming and returned to the DC area later in the day. To keep matters under wraps, the interview was tactily not shot at NBC's 30 Rock headquarters. Yeah, because it's quite a prominent building. If you've never seen the 30 Rock building, is pretty iconic. Thanks to the TV show with Tina Fey. During the taping, Heard spoke with Today co-host about how she believes the decision by jury, not the execution by jury, could impact free speech in America, and other women coming out to talk about domestic. That word, a source close to the situation tells Deadline. So when she's talking about the fact that, well, this victory for Johnny Depp means that other victims won't have any things in their favour. But remember, Amber Heard was playing the fake victim, okay? There's a lot of evidence out there to show that she is just a nasty piece of work. She is a sociopath, okay? She really is. And nobody believed her for a minute. The jury, Camille Vasquez, nobody was on her side. Even the last week, Amber Heard's own lawyer said she's too broke to pay back Johnny Depp $15 million. So the fact that she's going to be getting very limited choices in what film she takes, she's going to be this person that just takes anything. It would not even surprise me if in the end Amber Heard goes down the adult film industry role. That's all I'm saying, because when you're going to get desperate, you know, what else are you going to do? Whew, wowee. I'm not going to read any more of this. It is what it is. There's my guy JD right there. I mean, because the whole thing about this to me is Amber Heard is butthurt because Johnny Depp's victory is a victory for men, genuine men who might be victims of similar volatile relationships. But of course, if a man stands up and speaks about this, they're laughed upon because you're a man, you should be able to take the abuse left, right and centre. But when it's a woman who's on the receiving end, automatically there will be sympathy towards them. And yes, there are genuine victims like that out there who deserve the spotlight, who deserve to have their story told. But in this very public case where Johnny Depp lost out against Amber in the UK against the Scum newspaper, It's funny how now that everything's in his favor, and like I've said, when Johnny's had these previous relationships with these very high profile women, none of them have ever spoke badly about him. I think Ellen Barkin did, but I didn't even know he was in a relationship with her. But I guess Ellen Barkin is a bit barking mad, as we would say in the UK. So folks, if you enjoyed this quick double whammy of stories today from yours truly, make sure you hit the like button below, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if I were you, maybe duck or check your bed sheets in case Amber Heard's been by, if you know what I mean. And I'll see you on my next video, if you or me that is.